What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. If you've clicked on this video, you've probably already heard that Garchomp is getting the Community Day exclusive move of Earth Power, which is a ground type move. And of course, a lot of people are excited about this Pokemon. They want to learn a little bit more about Garchomp from this ground typing. And so what we're going to be doing today is taking a look at Garchomp from this ground typing with this new move, Earth Power. But then simultaneously, we're going to be taking a look at Garchomp from the dragon typing as well as Mega Garchomp. Now, unfortunately, we have a little bit of negative news in relation to Community Day because Niantic never officially stated that Mega Garchomp was going to be coming out right after Community Day, so it may be a little bit delayed, but regardless of that, we already know the stats and everything, so we're going to be including it in today's deep dive series. We'll be taking a look at these Pokemon from a raid perspective, PvP, discussing should you power it up, how should you use your Garchomp from the ground typing, from the dragon typing, and then of course so many more things in relation to investing for these Pokemon. Of course, with this deep dive series, if you do enjoy it, if it is helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Hopefully you did enjoy that classic intro. We've been having a discussion on the Patreon only Discord channel, and a lot of patrons were requesting to have the classic music intro put back on it, and we're gonna at least oblige for one episode. If you want to support the channel and check that out, and then of course get connected with other Pokemon Go trainers, make sure to check out the Patreon link in the description. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this episode. First things first, we've got the regular Garchomp with a max CP of 4,532 with a level 51 buddy boost. And then of course, when we take a look at Mega Garchomp, we've got a max CP of 6,206. That is just insane. Now, secondarily, we've of course got the typing of dragon as well as ground, and that does not change for the Mega Evolution. Of course, just meaning that it's going to basically be an upgrade as far as the stats are concerned. You're not having to deal with anything kind of weird, like no nuances to having some new typing or something. In this particular case, Mega Garchomp is just a pure clone plus an upgrade. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the stats for these Pokemon. Now, as far as the overall stats are concerned, sure, you can take a look at Mega Garchomp and see 4th overall, which is just absolutely impressive, but Garchomp itself is no slouch either, ranking at 23rd overall in Pokemon Go, which is extremely impressive for a non-legendary Pokemon. As far as the regular Garchomp stats are concerned, its best stat is its stamina, followed by its attack, with an attack stat of 261, definitely looking good. And then of course, when we head over to Mega Garchomp, we're seeing that the stamina stays the same. And then as far as the defense is concerned, we get an upgrade to 65th overall. And then finally, that attack stat of 339 is ranked at 9th. So definitely going to be attack heavy, but also defense heavy and also stamina heavy. It's just a really good Pokemon when we're talking about the stats. So anyways, we can go ahead and take a look at the relative ranks of this. So first things first, we've got Garchomp. We can see that versus other dragon type Pokemon, it's not necessarily the highest. It's actually 14th out of 51. There's just so many great dragon type Pokemon is basically what it comes down to. But then secondarily, as far as the ground types are concerned, we can see that it is ranked at 2nd overall. So it seems like there's a lot of room for Garchomp to shine from this dragon or from this ground typing, and not so much from the dragon typing, but of course, we will be taking a look at it. So then of course, when we talk about Mega Garchomp is actually going to be the only Pokemon that beats Garchomp from the ground typing. As you can see, it's ranked overall in the 1st position. And then of course, from the dragon typing, we can see that Mega Garchomp overall ranked 1st as far as dragon types are concerned. So it ends up being dominant from the ground typing as well as the dragon typing. When you're talking about the Mega Garchomp, that's just going to be so exciting to see this Pokemon when it gets added into the game. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the moveset and of course talk about that. Now, as far as the raid simulations are concerned, we'll be taking a look at Dragon Tail, Mudshot, Outrage, and then finally taking a look at Earth Power. Of course, combining those to be the same stab benefit. And then as far as PvP is concerned, there really needs to be a conversation between Earthquake, Sand Tomb, and then Earth Power. I'll address that when we get into the PvP section, and then of course give you some extra resources if you are interested in a deeper discussion about that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the first raid. We're going to be taking a look at Garchomp from the ground typing first. And as you can see, when we add in Garchomp with Earth Power, it ends up taking over this #1 position, officially meaning that Garchomp is now, at this point in time, the best ground type attacker in Pokemon Go. And ground type truly does need a boost. Anytime you get any boost for the ground typing, people are very excited about that. So you can go ahead and check out that performance. But like I said, you've got Garchomp being the #1 ground type attacker. But how does ground type compare to other Pokemon that are going to also be super effective against a particular boss? So we are going to put ground type in perspective, because I honestly do think that that is important. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to be going up against an Aggron. So Aggron is going to be double weak to the ground typing, for example, but it's also going to be double weak to the fighting type. And as you can see here, when you give those kind of both comparisons, you can see that Garchomp actually shifts down a little bit compared to some other Pokemon. And in this particular case, you can see that the Landorus Therian form takes over that #1 position, followed by Excadrill, and then finally by Garchomp in the 3rd position as far as the ground types are concerned. Overall, generally speaking, Garchomp is the best ground type attacker, but there are going to be some instances where you end up seeing a couple of ground type get ahead of it. But the point in this particular raid simulation is to go ahead and showcase that fighting type, as far as direct comparisons to the ground type, are still going to perform a little bit better, despite the fact that Garchomp has just incredible stats. And basically what this means is overall, the ground type moves probably need a little bit of an update, at least in my opinion, to be a little bit more competitive. But of course, that's a conversation that definitely needs to be had in the comment section below. So anyways, this is not just about Garchomp. Let's go ahead and discuss what's going to happen when Mega Garchomp gets added. So I went ahead and added this in here. And as you can see, Garchomp actually gets shifted up ahead into the #1 position. I just did a couple of highlight Pokemon, but we saw Shadow Machamp was in the 1st position, so you get the point. Mega Garchomp is going to be dominant. And that was actually with the move Earthquake. That was not even with the move Earth Power. And the only reason I did that was just because the move Earth Power is not loaded into Pokebattler yet for Mega Garchomp. But you can go ahead and see it here that this Mega Garchomp is able to outperform it even without the move Earth Power. So Mega Garchomp is definitely going to be an exciting Pokemon that I'm personally looking so forward to having in the game. So anyways, let's go ahead and get some scope on Garchomp from the Dragon typing. When we go up against Giratina, you can see that there's of course going to be some competition from quite a big range of Pokemon. But if you go ahead and focus on just the dragons in particular, you'll see Rayquaza, Salamence, Palkia, and then you finally see a Pokemon like Garchomp. And basically what happens is Garchomp kind of hovers around the 4 to 6 slot, and it's getting beat by some pretty good Pokemon, a lot of legendaries. But then of course occasionally you'll see a Pokemon like Salamence, and then you might even see a Pokemon like Dragonite kind of getting ahead of it. But unfortunately, Garchomp doesn't have quite as much value from the Dragon typing. Not because it's a bad Pokemon, it's just that there are so many Dragon type Pokemon that are good, and that's just kind of how it falls. But anyways, of course, we can go ahead and have that discussion of what's going to happen when Mega Garchomp gets added in, and it's going to be so dominant once again. So even if you have yourself a Garchomp, you go ahead and power it up, it's going to be incredible as far as the Mega is concerned, as far as damage output anyways. So of course you can see that Mega Garchomp actually takes over that #1 position, takes it away from Shadow Mamoswine. So a lot of great news as far as Mega Garchomp is concerned, being what will be eventually the #1 ground type attacker and the #1 dragon type attacker once we see Mega Garchomp being added into the game. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at some PvP thoughts. We'll go ahead and talk about this. As far as what PvP Poke ends up recommending, they basically state that all 3 ground type moves are going to have a play. It just sort of depends on how you want to use it. And then of course in the league. And as far as Earth Power is concerned, because most people are going to get themselves an Earth Power Garchomp, basically the best play is going to be in the Masters League. So if you want to go ahead and run Garchomp in a lower league, go ahead and use something different. As far as the recommendations are concerned, they do recommend the move Sand Tomb. So anyways, we can go ahead and take a look at this. So as far as the actual ranks are concerned, Garchomp with Earthquake, now this is in the Masters League, with Earthquake was ranked at 26, so we should see a little bit of an upgrade. It doesn't have too much room to go up, right? But we should see an upgrade for Garchomp using the move Earth Power in that Master League. So that's going to be the main recommendation for that. So anyways, what do we have to say about Garchomp? Well, I think a lot of people are excited about it. It's definitely going to be a community day that a lot of people are going to get out there and do it, basically. Maybe in the past you're like, I don't feel like it. But I think with the Garchomp Community Day, a lot of people are going to be excited about that. Earth Power is an upgrade from the raid perspective, and it is an upgrade to some extent from the PvP perspective. So a lot of people are excited about that. And if you're curious about the future value of Garchomp just kind of in general, the Mega Garchomp really only is going to have competition versus a Pokemon like Primal Groudon. But even then, it technically has better stats. So Mega Garchomp should still be able to hold on to that #1 spot from the ground typing. So as far as investing in this Pokemon is concerned, Garchomp seems to be a very safe investment from the ground typing. It's a little bit lower value from the dragon typing, but that's only because there are great dragon type Pokemon. But at the end of the day, if you end up getting 5 or 6 of these Garchomps and you're able to fully power them up to 40, that's just going to be a great thing for you to have as far as flexibility is concerned. But yeah, I'm giving a huge seal of approval on Garchomp. I want to know what you think about Garchomp in the comment section below. What exactly do you plan to do for Community Day? Are you excited about Garchomp? Are you going to use it from the ground typing? Are you going to use it from the dragon typing? Anything and everything, let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you next time. If you want to support the channel, make sure to check out the Patreon in the description below. I started a new Discord server where we are communicating for raids, we're sharing friend codes, and then of course just discussing Pokemon Go. So of course, if you want to connect with other Pokemon Go players, make sure to check out that link, and I will see you next time.